Hello there.
General Kenobi.
Well, I hope it doesn't take too long. So uncivilized.
That's good. You've taken your first step into a larger world.
What is up, everybody? It is your boy, it's KonKon, with KonKon's Cantina. What you just heard was going to be our new intro for Kenobi. Wanted to give you something that was going to excite you for Kenobi. Of course, the Cantina hotline is going to be opening up again for Kenobi. We are super excited. As you will hear later in this episode, of course, we got the news that Kenobi will be dropping 2 episodes. Now, this episode you'll be hearing me and Jordan talk about some topics, and of course needed to get the intro and the housekeeping done for you. Guys, reminder, we still do have some rec shirts as I'm wearing right now. Shoot us a message as far as to what sizes that we have. Also, we have some new shirts that are coming out, and we're actually going to be doing a pre-order format. So we learned a lot from our shirts previously, so hit us up on Instagram if you are not. Of course, all the social media is KonKon's Cantina, except for TikTok, which is KonKon's Cantina podcast. Of course, head over to our Linktree where you can find a link, an auto invite to our Discord where we have all the spoiler chat. Right now, we are currently talking about Moon Knight and some many other projects going on. This episode is also brought to you by and sponsored by Kill Key Factory. Guys, if you don't know, you can completely customize your lightsabers, well, they be LTG sabers or NeoPixel sabers, or even just any other sabers. You can do blade retention screws or power saver kill keys themselves. Head over to etsy.com/KillKeyFactory and enter coupon code CANTINA for 10% off your order. You can get custom kill keys, etched kill keys, pretty much anything you can imagine. Once again, head over to Kill Key Factory for your customizing lightsaber needs. This episode is also sponsored by our Patreon. Our Patreon, guys, we got some content coming out for you, okay? As of today, you're hearing this on Monday. Hopefully by tomorrow, Tuesday, if not tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, we will be releasing a new Patreon episode specifically for you. So patrons, if you have not updated your email on the Patreon, please do that. That is how you will be getting links to the episodes. To get exclusive content from KonKon's Cantina, the lowest tier we have is a $3 tier. Every penny that goes from our Patreon gets put back into the show to bring the best content for you guys. Of course, 5 stars leaving a review for the podcast very much helps us, guys. It really, really does. People listening to other Star Wars podcasts, it says, hey, you listen to this one, check out these guys, and we very, very much appreciate it. The agenda of this episode, me and the casual kid, aka Jordan, will be talking about Star Wars news. Now, some of the Star Wars news that are coming out is we have new books that are coming out. We're also talking about the amazing implications that Donald Glover gave on the Jimmy Kimmel show, kind of a hint at the Lando show, the Lando show coming to the Disney Plus, which was announced back in 2020. And then, of course, we will be talking about the new Cal Kestis lightsaber and Cameron Monaghan showing up at Disney in Galaxy's Edge. Super cool to see. So, guys, before we get into that, I'm going to head over to me and Jordan right now, and we'll get this episode kicked off for you. Jordan, we are a Cantina podcast, so we're going to go into the Cantina right now.
Favorite part of the day.
Yes.
Welcome to KonKon's Cantina. What are you having?
What do you got, Connor?
Remember.
Oh my gosh. What is my tide? My tested.
What is my tide?
What is my tide? What is my tried, tested, and true, Jordan?
Natter Days, but what is that?
We are drinking
Toll Road,
of course. And we are drinking Mike's Special, my favorite beer.
Oh yeah.
On the planet. I have talked about it so many times. Mike's Special Cream Ale, vanilla and coffee, 5.4 ABV and 18 IBU. The thing that is just so amazing about this, which by the way, I have to show you, but I have an official Cantina thing coming. I gotta show it to you.
Ooh, excited for that.
I've been talking about Toll Road for so long, so
Mhm.
freaking long. This beer is just amazing. This is worth the drive all in itself. Located on 101 West McKinney Street in Ocoee, Florida. Mike's Special is one of their first beers. It is a cream ale. It has a nice ale in the middle. The front hits you very weedy, hoppy. No, not hoppy.
Yeah.
Very weedy. Very earthy taste, and then it tastes like beer. The sweetness is not overpowering. Love it.
Yeah.
It's 10 out of 10 beer for me, and I could smash them all day.
Yeah, you've single-handedly, helped Toll Road to grow as a brewery and as a company.
Oh my gosh, love it.
I made a little bit of a cocktail. It's fairly simple. It's just Irish coffee.
Good.
I'm still was in the mood for coffee. I'm still kind of trying to wake up a little bit. So just normal pot of coffee, some half and half, a little bit of sugar-free sweetener, and then added the Knob Creek maple whiskey.
Ooh, I do like the and it's good with the coffee because the maple is really, really sweet. So I'm
Tastes
sure
like
that
breakfast.
acidity, nice.
Tastes like breakfast.
Yeah, I
man.
love how you're
It's
like,
good.
you're like, I'm still trying to wake up. It's 6 a.m. Everybody, drink up. No, it's really not. It's really not.
It's not, but you have those days where you need to have coffee in the afternoon. Yeah, it's good. Irish coffees, depending on the type of coffee you have, it's hit or miss. This one, it's a solid 7. I never will say no to an Irish coffee, especially if it's whiskey that I know and it's good quality coffee. Can't go wrong.
I don't do it enough. I need to do it more. I just really don't drink coffee. Oh, you know what? I drink coffee sometimes when I get home from work. Instead of like popping a monster or something, I'll do a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
But I don't drink it. I don't drink it enough. On vacation though. I love Irish coffee.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
Yeah.
It's more of something you have on vacation, but it's nice to have it at home every once in a while.
Guys, this week's episode, the very first thing that we are going to talk about is we have live action Cal Kestis. Like, it sounds funny to say, but literally Cal, the actual actor, Cameron Monaghan, he just visited Galaxy's Edge. Why? Because his legacy lightsaber has been released at Galaxy's Edge. The saber, of course, he went and he did, kind of like the whole influencer thing as you're seeing on the screen right now. If you are on YouTube, you can see this. If not, we have posted these pictures on Instagram. But he went there basically for the release of his lightsaber. And we were making the joke, it's live action Cal.
Yeah, exactly. It's legit. It's canon. It's canon now.
He shows up at a Canon location, which is Black Spire Outpost. The saber. Here on this podcast, we're not huge fans of the Disney sabers, even though we do have some. I mean, I literally have some to my left right now. But here he was able to also go to Savvy's workshop, as you're seeing on screen. And I found this interesting. He picked green. So in Fallen Order, once again, not his lightsaber. It was his master's lightsaber. So, I understand. But shout outs to Disney sabers, though. They do photograph well.
They do. They look really good.
Yeah, I got to give them that.
Yeah, and especially it's great for influencers when they're like,
look
at my new saber,
For sure.
Yeah, they look great. It looks high quality. You had mentioned to me there's something special about the end of the hilt.
Yes, so
special.
Yeah, we're about to get to a picture here. The actual end of right there of the lightsaber, all those little kind of greebly grommet, the broken saber, they're made of rubber. Some other companies that have made a little bit more accurate with the girth of the saber, a little bit more accurate saber, they've made kind of like sharp pieces on the end of their saber that could like actually hurt you. But
you gotta make it safe for the kids.
Got to make it safe for the kids, and that's exactly what Disney did, which is pretty cool. I would be interested to know what the longevity of that plastic is.
It's true, but I also think that it's a plus simply because not just for kids, but anybody who's just messing around with a lightsaber, the last thing you want to do is just scrape it across you or even break a metal piece.
Yeah.
Just messing around with it. So it being made of rubber is not a deal breaker for me in any way, as long as it looks good, and it does look good in the photos.
Yeah.
I think it's a win. I think it's a huge win for Disney.
Yeah, super cool once again to get Cameron there. I mean, they really need to start using him and stuff. They're missing out on a big opportunity to have him be a part of Star Wars. Cameron,
Mm,
so much right now, and we could even make him older. You know, maybe he shows up in the Ahsoka show,
yeah.
or there's just so much that we could be doing with Cal, and I hope that Disney takes
Yeah.
advantage of having that a lot of people are gravitating towards Cameron Monaghan, like Jedi
Mhm.
Fallen Order, huge following for the video game
Yeah.
in general.
It's great. And if
Which,
you haven't played it, definitely go play it.
yeah,
Or go watch Connor go play it on Twitch.
yes, trying to stream every Monday night. KonKon, twitch.com/KonKonscantina. I am doing my first playthrough of Jedi Fallen Order. And then another just really, really cool thing that they've done is, you know, with getting Cameron there, the reason why it's also so popular, and I should have prefaced this first, we got the Cal Saber because Disney for the first time allowed people to vote.
Mhm.
So you had 6 sabers that you could vote on for what was your next Galaxy's Edge Legacy saber, and we
Mhm.
waited over 530 days after the announcement, so over a
Man.
year. And
I Yeah,
go
I
ahead.
remember the announcement, and
Yeah,
I thought all of them were really cool. The
yeah.
Qui-Gon one would have been fantastic, I think.
Mhm.
Um,
I think they could
and
have done well with Qui-Gon because I
but
think it. Yeah,
until they came back with this, I honestly forgot that it was going on.
yeah, no, for real, me too.
Took so
Um,
long.
Ezra Jedi Knight Saber was on there. Kanan Jarrus lightsaber was on there. Anakin Attack of the Clones Episode 2 lightsaber was on there. Cal's Qui-Gon Jinn's, and the last saber was, I'm forgetting his name, but it's a Jedi from the Vader Immortal experience on VR. That was the other one, which
Yeah,
is
yeah.
a super elegant. I found it weird that they even were going to offer that
Yeah.
because the cross guard, it would be so weird in a box, but they do
Yeah,
Kylo Ren's too. So
that's true. That's true. Do you think that they'll run this contest again or this voting system again to with the same ones or similar
100%.
ones?
This is
To
literally a pre-order for them.
Yeah,
This is literally,
yeah.
and you know what's crazy is Disney has done so much to try to get rid of their reseller market.
Mm,
And what's happened with a lot of the Galaxy's Edge stuff is there's a lack of knowledge in newer people entering the lightsaber community because of Disney sabers, where, you know, they think that it's the best saber that they can get, or they go to Disney and they make it part of their experience. So that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but there are just better sabers for that type of money. And so what Disney was doing is they started discontinuing some sabers. So some of the sabers that have been discontinued are Asajj Ventress. You can't get hers anymore. You cannot get the Jedi Temple Guard, and you cannot get Ahsoka Fulcrum. You can still get Ahsoka Rebel, but not Ahsoka Fulcrum.
Okay.
And the prices of these sabers have surpassed full custom NeoPixel CFX. Like, I'm talking
It's crazy.
a $700 saber that you get from a sabersmith or a reputable company that has smooth swing, all these crazy electronics.
Yeah.
These Disney sabers have now surpassed that in value because they're discontinued. So
Yeah.
I think this pre-order process, not necessarily pre-order process, but they're like, hey, they voted on this, they're going to buy it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
I think that they're trying to do that on purpose.
Yeah. It's great for Disney, and I think it's also great for fans too. They're not
Yeah.
putting out something that nobody wants. They're literally asking people what they want, and they're going to spend money for it.
More representation from Cal. Seriously, we need more Cal
Yes.
stuff. Moving on from I keep wanting to say Cal Monaghan instead of Cameron Monaghan. We're just he's the same person. We'll just mix them
It is
together.
now Cal
Yeah.
Monaghan.
He is Cal
Period.
Monaghan, period. That's what it is. Thought this was a super interesting fact. We have been talking on this show for a long time, the necessary why it's necessary to watch Clone Wars and to watch Star Wars Rebels. So I thought this was cool. Star Wars Clone Wars, the animated series, is now the #1 streamed animation on Disney Plus. This is ahead of all the Pixar movies. This is ahead of Disney classics.
Yeah.
So anything that is animated or cartoon is now #1 on Disney Plus. Star Wars fans carrying Disney Plus, apparently.
Yeah. I mean, and that is a huge deal. You think about everything that Disney has put out for the past 70, 80 plus years.
Yeah.
And to imagine that Star Wars, Clone Wars would be the #1 thing it's fantastic.
It's
amazing.
And it's
Yeah.
also the third most popular animated cartoon in the United States. So it's not just Disney Plus, it's the entire US.
Shout out to Cowboy Dave and John for
Seriously.
for doing so good
Yeah.
on the show and
Dave
making
Filoni.
something that's become iconic. It's the most important part of Star Wars now.
Moving on, guys, some more Star Wars news. Donald Glover was recently just on the Jimmy Kimmel Show. And back in 2020, Kathleen Kennedy, this was during the Investor Day. We actually have 2 episodes on that, so go check that out. We have a reaction episode, and then we have a review episode of the Disney Investor Day. This is where we heard about all the new upcoming Star Wars projects, one of which was the soon-to-be the Lando TV series on Disney+. Donald Glover, of course, was questioned by Jimmy Kimmel about the forthcoming Star Wars Lando TV series on Disney+. This was also reported on comicbook.com, and he was fairly tight-lipped, as they always are, unless you're Tom Holland, because then you'll just tell everybody everything. But there were a few details to whet our appetite, and we're actually going to read some of those for you right now.
Yeah. So going back to the start with the announcement for the Investor Day, Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy claimed in December of 2020 that the new limited series Star Wars Lando was being developed, though no other official details about the project have emerged since. And with Solo, a Star Wars story, actor Donald Glover recently weighing in on the project. During an appearance on Jimmy Kimmel Live, the host brought up the project, with Glover dodging any direct confirmation that he would be returning for the series, yet also didn't shoot down the notion, with many fans assuming that means that we can expect Glover to reprise the role of the iconic gambler. That was something that we talked about in those investor episodes, was getting Donald Glover back as Lando, because he crushed it in Solo.
Crushed it. Absolutely crushed it.
Yeah.
When Jimmy Kimmel claimed that Glover was about to start work on Lando, the actor immediately joked, quote, "Am I? You're just telling everyone my business. No, yeah, I have a lot of things. I like to blossom, then go away. And for right now, definitely to start another one of those. I have a ton of stuff that I've been working on, but I just wanted it all come out on the same time. I feel that is what is important to me," end quote.
Yeah, no, he didn't. He dodged it
completely.
He dodged it, but he didn't also say no.
Yeah, he's like, I got a lot of irons in the fire. Newsflash, bro, everyone does.
Yeah, exactly. Come on, and also, Donald Glover is always working on an album, or he's working on another show, another movie. He's always has something working on. So that's not news.
He has been a little MIA though.
He has, but he also brought it up in the quote that that's what he does.
Yeah.
He does a ton of stuff at once and then just disappears.
Yep.
So
sounds like someone I know.
It does sound like someone.
Sounds like a lot of people I know, actually.
Yeah,
it's like that's just life, right? You have ups and downs, and it just because it's down doesn't mean it's a bad down, you know.
And again, this isn't huge news. This isn't, earth shattering.
We know it's gonna happen. What are they gonna do? We're not getting OG Lando. You know, it's gonna be it's gonna be Donald Glover, like for sure. It's not gonna be Williams. I mean, it could. Okay, follow me for a second.
Following.
Remember in Solo when Donald Glover is reading the Calrissian Chronicles?
Okay.
What if it's Billy D. Williams in a chair in front of a fireplace with an amazing suede what's it called? Shower. What's the thing?
Oh, robe?
Yes, in an amazing robe. And he's sitting there and he's like, "Oh, yes, my casting, my Calrissian Chronicles." And he's narrating and everything is dude, that would $1 billion idea.
Yes.
$1 billion. And then every flashback is Donald Glover, and it's like a spy thriller, 007 gambler. Come on. $1 million idea, Disney.
And that would also be the other thing, is he's telling these stories, and so of course they're unrealistic. Because that's Lando's personality.
And then we get Donald Glover breaking the fourth wall, being like, "Bro, it didn't happen like that." Dude, We're writing it for you, Disney.
Exactly.
We're writing it
Great
for you.
idea.
More
Love it.
comedy in Star Wars.
Yeah.
For people that disagree, we need there can be longevity in having satire in Star Wars, and we need more
Exactly.
satire in Star Wars.
Yep.
Let's now that we're done giving our $1 million ideas to Disney, let's
gave it away.
continue. I know I'm giving it fruit in a handbasket. Here you go. Just giving it. Let's continue with this article. Of course, Glover expectedly dodges many direct confirmations about being involved in the new series, yet by not debunking the idea of confessing that he is about to be quite busy. It would seem that he is confessing of his involvement in the project. Given that fans have been wondering about the project since it was announced, this would surely come as a good news to the audience. I will say this. I would prefer Solo 2 to a Lando show, but it doesn't mean that we can't get of course I'm trying to think of his name. Is it Alfred? It's not Alfred.
Not Alfred.
The new Solo actor. Of course, like I said, of course, I'm trying to think of his name, and his name's not coming to me. He could show up in the show too, so we could get a Han Solo cameo in the show.
Alden,
thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alfred Alden.
Yeah.
Look, close enough. I'm giving people their names today. It is what it is.
Yeah. And moving on with the article, it says at the time of the project was announced, it was described as an event series, implying that it wouldn't be an ongoing project. Lando was set to be developed by Dear White People creator Justin Simeon.
This is an ongoing thing with these shows, except for Mandalorian and Marvel. It seems like we get these limited time series, right? And I think they do that with the implication of we don't know how this is going to be, or the timeline kind of. But so Andor's coming out. They do season 1 of Andor before the show's already coming out. Already announced season 2.
Yep.
So why would this have to be? I would love a Lando sitcom. You know, kind of like what we've talked. Like he would be a great sitcom character. You know, he kind of has the trope of, you know, the ladies' man. He is almost the Barney
of Star Wars.
Yeah, or at least Donald Glover's character more than Billy D. In my opinion.
Yeah. I think you got part of it right. I don't think they know how exactly it's going to go. On the flip side, these are really talented actors who, you know, normally work on a film and they have maybe like one other project that they're working on during filming. And then, you know, they're moving on to something else. I think doing a limited series like what they're planning on doing with Lando does give them the opportunity to get Donald Glover to be like, hey, we're not tying you in for multiple years to do one, you know, to do this one series that you're just going to be stuck at. We just want you to do this one thing. Yeah. And then that's it. And so maybe they're adding a little extra time compared to what it normally would be to film a movie. Yeah. But at the same time, you do get that quality actor because of that time.
And we get, you know, everyone, I feel like a lot of people just kind of crapped all over Book of Boba Fett. And I'm still thankful for Book of Boba Fett because I still think BOFB, BOBF. BOBF was still better as a show than it would have been as a movie because I want more Star Wars content. You know, I don't want it to be short.
There was a ton of great things that they added there, and they did get, you know, quality people to work on it. Yeah. So I think in the long run for Disney, when it comes to Star Wars and Marvel, I think having the philosophy of, okay, we're going to do these short series that are extremely high quality, that build on a universe. Yes. Instead of, oh, we're going to make, you know, 24 episodes of something that's below quality and we're going to create 4 seasons of it just because. So I'm better with these short series because they are putting so much quality into them.
I would definitely agree. I mean, to finish up the article real quick, and then we're going to move on. Another question audiences have had is when Lando could move forward, regardless of whether we can expect to see Glover reprise his role in Solo or reports that claim that the season 3 of The Mandalorian is wrapping up production currently, with Star Wars Ahsoka set to begin production shortly. There is also the Star Wars series Acolyte, another Star Wars project of which we have had no updates about or learned anything. And fans have also been waiting to learn more about the Star Wars Andor series, which could possibly be premiering on Disney Plus following the reports in 2001, the series, because the series had wrapped up filming, which it was weird, the wording in this article, because we know we're getting Andor by the end of this year anyway.
Yeah.
That's been announced. Like, we're probably getting it in like September, you know, so like
Yeah.
this is a huge year because we got Book of Boba Fett, we're getting Kenobi, and then we're getting Andor. And I still don't understand how they have not started filming Ahsoka.
I do. I think, well, I think
Talk to me.
It's the same people who have been working on Book of Boba Fett.
Okay.
They moved over
Hopefully not. I don't want Mark
to work on the same people who went on to go work on Kenobi. We're also the Mandalorian people. Mandalorian season 3 is supposed to come out at the end of this year as well, or the beginning of next year.
There's no way it comes out at the end of this year.
Yeah. So they're
Bad Batch season 2 hasn't come out either.
Right. But the live action filming crew have been doing all of these projects.
That's why I think we had an episode where we begged the question, how many volumes are there?
Yeah.
Because in the little sizzle reel, Ewan talks about going to the Mandalorian set and sorry, I'm burping. Goes to the Mandalorian set and tries on Jedi garb, and they did it. He did a test shoot with other actors, and that was clearly done. He said it was on the set of Mandalorian, so that was Mandalorian season 2, no doubtably, that he went and did all this. And so when they finished up that, but then I wonder, it's like we've seen on set stuff for Andor. Like that's the pictures that have leaked of them being on set in other places of the world. And then we saw that Book of Boba Fett was clearly not done in the volume.
No.
So
no.
You know what I mean?
There's a lot of moving parts, and I think they're being incredibly ambitious with what they're trying to do. And we saw that in the Investor Day when we went through everything that they had announced. We're like, really? They're coming out with all of this stuff? Well, they're either going to try to pump it out as quick as they can, or this is going to be going on for like 5-6 years. Yeah. So I think they're working as fast as they can. And hopefully the quality doesn't suffer because of it. Yeah. That's the part that I worry about when them trying to put out so many projects so quickly.
Do you think, so many projects so quickly, but all of these projects I feel have had feet under them beforehand. Book of Boba Fett was kind of like, oh, by the way, Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah. That also could have messed up the timeline. Yeah. That honestly could have messed up everybody's timeline as to what exactly was going to be happening and who was doing what. But hey, more Star Wars, however it gets to us, as long as it's not delayed by 2 years, I'll take it. I'll take it.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. Moving on, more Star Wars news we have. You know that we are a big proponent of reading the new canon novels. Now, hopefully this new canon novel will help some people who have struggled with the Luke Skywalker that we inevitably are going to be getting in The Last Jedi. But the new Star Wars book, Shadows of the Sith, Luke Skywalker fights to survive on Exegol, and an excerpt from the Star Wars Shadows of the Sith. Star Wars Jedi Master Luke Skywalker is haunted by the visions of dark side of telling of a new ominous secret growing elsewhere in the depths of the galaxy, of which of course we know is on the dead Sith planet called Exegol. The disturbance is in the Force is going to be basically Luke's worst nightmare, and his fears are confirmed when his old friend Lando Calrissian comes to help him with this new Sith menace. So another new, the cover art is amazing, by the way. I don't have it to show right now, but it's super, super cool. Head over to JediNews.com and you can read the full excerpt. I'm going to read something for you briefly. I'm not going to read the entire thing. I wanted to read the whole thing, but it's already there for you. And there's actually 3 books right now on JediNews.com where you can read excerpts. 2 of the books have not released yet, this being one of them. The other book that has not come out yet, but it has been announced also, is called Star Wars Brotherhood, which is a new canon Star Wars novel featuring Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin during the Clone Wars, which is really cool because we've talked about that on the show too,
Yeah.
of expanding on this father-son dynamic that they have between the two. I'm going to catch you up really quickly before I read this tiny excerpt. Basically, Luke has gone to Tython, the same planet that we see in Mandalorian Season 2, and he is learning to use the Seeing Stone. And the Seeing Stone is helping project different points in the galaxy for him, and he's having trouble understanding the difference between reality and if it's a force projection.
Yep.
And basically, he actually gets teleported to Exegol via the Seeing Stone. And still, he's having the hard time of discerning whether this is reality or fiction. In The Rise of Skywalker, we see all of the hooded figures, the Sith Eternals, as we know them to be called now. And a lot of people had questions. Who are they? What do they do? It kind of seemed cheesy, right?
Yeah.
Like,
it kind of seemed like they just threw them in there just to have something weird and ominous. It didn't really make sense when you initially watched it.
and now we are actually getting a very, very nice canon explanation of what these creatures, people, beings can actually do. They're literally described as wraiths. And I think of ring wraiths from Lord of the Rings. That's what I think of immediately. And we think of like how they're the ends of their sleeves and the ends of their cloaks, they're all tapered and tattered. You can't see their faces, nothing like that. So Luke gets teleported to Exegol, and he is approached by 9 of these wraiths. And not only is he approached by them, they take out lightsabers, and they're described as shadow blades. And when I think of a shadow blade, I think of the dark saber.
Yeah.
Or I think of the black lightsaber from Force Unleashed.
Yep.
Not a conventional lightsaber.
No.
So they attack Luke with great speed. They come at him, and he has to use the Force because, once again, he cannot determine whether this is reality or if this is a vision. And they're so fast that he cannot use his eyesight. He has to close his eyes and rely on the Force. And Luke starts parrying the lightsabers. Well, Luke gets overrun and he gets knocked back. And so this is where I'm going to pick up the reading for you guys really quickly. And then it was at that light appeared, not a white flash of light or the wraith's blades, as they were lit by what seemed to be unholy light. It was not the green of Luke's own lightsaber illuminating on the ashy ground as a green flashlight. No, this light was pale blue. It shimmered in the air, streaking a little bit and sweeping down through the attackers off of one smooth movement after another. It was a lightsaber, a blue-bladed and strong, and a large hilt. The hilt was transparent. Nothing to it had a glow but the blade, held in a transparent blue hand. Luke fell backward onto his elbows and gasped at the pain of his joints, also as the sheer surprise that stood before him. Standing between him and the wraiths was another figure, a man, flowing robes, all in blue. Luke noticed his head was hidden under a voluminous hood. The entire figure glowed, a soft electricity bouncing around them. Bright in the world of endless night, this figure stood transparent. When lightning flashed, Luke could see the 9 solid wraiths through the form of the man who stood between him and his quarry. Luke's mind raced as he tried to identify who the spirit and the Force who had arrived to protect and save him. Ben? Luke questioned. No, it wasn't Ben. The robe of the man had formed. The spectral being lifted his lightsaber, holding it high above his head, the blade parallel to the ground. For the first time, the wraiths actually seemed to take note of their enemy. They backed away. The 9 forms huddling together, blades lowered. They were screaming from the blank, bandaged faces, although Luke wasn't sure whether it was the real sound or just an echo of the Force inside of his head. It was hard to concentrate on what he was seeing, the way the Force had been reverberated around him in the figure in blue. His entire vision seemed to be buckled around him. The wraiths continued to back away, and they vanished, their shadowless shapes evaporating into the dust that spun away from which they came, last eddied into the dying world. For a moment, all was still. Then the blue figure turned around with his lightsaber extinguished. Luke pushed himself from his elbows, and he blinked. It couldn't be. It couldn't be. The blue figure lifted his hood and back and revealed a strong face of a young man, his gaze intense beneath the furrowed brow that was biased and straight, but a vertical scar over his right eye. His thick hair was shoulder length, and it was slightly wavy. Anakin Skywalker reached his hand out, took it, and lifted Luke off the ground.
Oh, man.
So,
Oh,
Canon...
If that doesn't get you excited to read that,
Dude,
nothing will.
I'm surprised that like they gave that away already. Force Ghost Luke is in front of you.
I'm sold. I want the book right now.
I
need it. I need it. I think that was super smart to do that.
Yeah.
Just end the whole thing. It's an exciting sequence. There's going to be tons more in the book.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
But to have that reunion like that is fantastic. Yeah. Very cool. Can't wait.
This will be the first representation of Hayden Christensen's Force Ghost since Return of the Jedi Special Edition.
Yep.
So this is super cool. Another thing, actually, we have a lightsaber chat. And I was watching Return of the Jedi the other day. Remember when Vader picks up the Emperor and he throws him into the pit on the Death Star?
Yeah.
No words are spoken.
Mm-hmm.
In the Disney Plus version now, as Emperor is electrocuting Luke and he goes, "Father, please." Vader now goes, "No." And then when he picks him up, he goes, "No." I can't make this up. I can't make this up. And he goes, "No." And he throws him in. So I don't know. Disney, stop
messing
adding.
with it.
Have you seen the Greedo? Now he says something else in the Han Solo confrontation.
You showed me that. Yeah.
McClunky. What stop, Disney, stop.
Stop it.
You need to stop immediately.
Ben?
Yeah. I am Anakin Skywalker. Yeah. Anyway, stop adding stuff. But this is super sick. So actual Force Ghost representation. And this is something cool that a huge highlight for me of The Last Jedi was the interaction of Luke with Yoda as the Force Ghost, and seeing Yoda have the the ability that they have to affect the world around them. And it's a super interesting point because, again, in Return of the Jedi, once Obi-Wan confirms to Luke that Darth Vader is his father and he knows that he's going to face him again, Obi-Wan specifically says, "Me and Yoda cannot interfere. Like, this is your fight."
Yeah.
And it really makes me wonder, was Luke done? Like, was Luke going to canonly be killed by these 9 Sith Wraiths here? Because they seem to be of another immortal entity like Force Ghosts, and it wasn't going to be in Luke's ability to defeat them, and so Anakin had to step in. Yeah,
and you're right. Being able to see more with Force Ghosts, being able to interact with the world through the Force is always something really cool. Like you brought out The Last Jedi with Yoda, that was really cool and unexpected. So I'm really interested to see how they dive deeper into this. Blurring the lines between the Force and reality that they've set up here, and is what is Luke experiencing actually real or not? I love that kind of stuff, and to see it in Star Wars is really cool. Really excited for the book.
I'm super excited. Once again, this is Star Wars Shadows of the Sith. Again, Shadows of the Sith, and this is actually following a very similar Legends storybook line. Justin's actually reading it right now, where again, after the destruction of the Empire, Luke teams up with Lando, and they do stuff across the galaxy, following a very similar line where Lando is just more involved. And I don't think it's a coincidence. We got the Lando show coming up. No. We've got to build this hype for this character that may be newer Star Wars. Think about the people that came into the sequel trilogy. And they see Billy D. Williams as Old Man Lando.
Yeah,
they don't know. They know who he is, but so
you don't know. There is so much gap in Star Wars current canon for Lando that I think it's great that they're starting to flush it out.
Yeah, me too.
He's such a great underrated character.
Yes.
I'm super, again, just excited for all the new Star Wars stuff coming out and
Yeah.
what they're trying to do. And I want to see them do Lando more. I want to see him, whether the series is right after Solo or it's right after Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of potential there, and want to see what he does in this book too. Yeah, I think it would be really cool.
Guys, thanks for joining us, me and Jordan. We're going to head back over to me, and I'm going to give us the little outro for this episode, and we'll catch you guys next time. Don't forget, we have our upcoming episode with Mark Thompson, the narrator of just tons of Star Wars books since the early 2000s. Tom has narrated over 50 Star Wars titles. If you have listened to things like Thrawn or basically any other Star Wars book, especially Lost Stars by Claudia Gray, other books like that, you have heard Mark Thompson himself read Star Wars to you, and he is going to be on the podcast. Very, very exciting. That episode will be airing the 2nd of May. And then, of course, the 30th of May will be our first episode on the Kenobi series, which we did have the announcement again that we have not one, but 2 episodes coming out. Unfortunately, you are going to be on vacation, my friend.
I'm on a cruise.
You're on a cruise.
I can't. Oh, man. I can't believe I'm going to be missing the premiere of 2 episodes.
2 episodes. From a fan perspective, I'm very excited.
Yes.
From a content creator's
You're
perspective,
gonna be
busy. This is horrible. This is horrible. We do have probably a new format coming. If you've been a listener of the show, you do know that when it comes to the big TV shows, we open up the call lines where you are able to call in and give us your hot take. We are probably going to have to change that for Kenobi, specifically because of this double release where we will be giving a recap as an episode, and then we will be doing a separate call-in episode, most likely, is currently what we're looking at. So I was your boy, it's KonKon.
And I was the casual kid.
And back over to me, and we'll end this episode for you guys. Guys, thank you very much for joining me and the casual kid on this episode of KonKon's Cantina. Guys, as always, thank you very much for all your support, especially you patrons. Guys, don't forget you have new exclusive content coming out for you this week. If you have not yet updated your email, please go do so via Patreon, the website itself. That is how we are going to be sending it out. And give us that info so that we can get you these new episodes. Once again, I was your boy, it's KonKon, and thank you very much to the casual kid for coming in and doing this episode with me, and we'll catch you guys next time.